Welcome back, everyone. We're back with our last regularly scheduled match of the evening with FlyQuest Academy taking on EchoFox. But for those of you hoping for some tiebreakers, you're looking for FlyQuest to claim victory in this game.
Yeah, win here for FlyQuest will put them in a three-way tie for Cloud9 and Liquid. And in that scenario, Team Liquid will automatically get first seed based on owning a head-to-head over FlyQuest and an even record versus Cloud9. So then FlyQuest and Cloud9 would then play the tiebreaker game for second place and side selection in their series next week in semifinals of the playoffs. Additionally, a win for FlyQuest would force a tiebreaker for the final playoff spot between EchoFox and Counter Logic Gaming.
There's lots riding on this last game of the regular split, and EchoFox still technically have destiny in their own hands.
Oh, yeah. A win for EchoFox will lock their playoff spot. A tiebreaker will not be necessary for them. So they are playing with Adrian as support this week, and while he is playing down from the LCS, shaking things up at the 11th hour seems like it could be a risky decision. Fortunately for EchoFox, they have the added security of another game before they're eliminated, and with that extra safety net, along with a red-hot performance against 100 Thieves yesterday, this could put the team in a great state of mind against FlyQuest.
Well, with that, we're going to check out the starting lineups. Loading in on the blue side is FlyQuest Academy. In the top lane, No. In the jungle, Shrimp. In the mid lane, Keen. Bot, Airy. And Sport, JJ.
And loading up on the red side, it's EchoFox Academy. In the top lane, Alarim. Jungle, Odd Orange. Mid lane, Demonte. And Lost in Adrian, surprisingly of all things, in the bot lane.
Yeah, Adrian making an appearance once again in this week from the main team in EchoFox. And like you said, we are done with some of the games that do not matter. Games really matter now. I believe we have at least one tiebreaker no matter what.
If you tabbed out, you can still hear us. Tab back in. This is when stuff starts popping off.
All right, we can start not complaining about drafts again because, again, back to meta makes sense here given the weight in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said, a lot of implications here for both teams. You know, EchoFox in particular, everyone else is still in the playoffs, and maybe you're a little bitter if you don't get the spot that you quite want. For EchoFox, this is very much about even playing in the playoffs, because if they lose here, they have to tiebreak for CLG, who is unbelievably hot right now, and I think you want to avoid them at all costs. You probably care more about winning this game.
Certainly do, as Cassia Ryzen, all afterbans there for Fly, Azir and Galio the Fox bans for now, with Xayah being the last one, been a really common red side ban so far today.
What's interesting with this is they only had one power pick that they could ban. I guess they left up two. I forgot about Swain being a power pick on this patch now, because I was thinking about Skarner. Looks like FlyQuest are going to value the Swain over it. Shrimp not seeing a ton of Skarner play, if I remember correctly, so also not a champ that feels like it fits his playstyle. Likes being aggressive, likes being the ganking jungler. Skarner can power farm or not.
Well, there's Caitlyn for Fox Academy, but might be switching gears. Going for a tank jungle here. Yep, Sedwani locked in for Odd Orange.
So that still leaves the Skarner up, and it doesn't look like anyone cares. Shrimp, like we said, being that ganking jungler, hovering the Zac pick, which is something that we've seen him on forever. Feels like he's pretty synonymous with that champ.
Certainly been something he likes. Fiddlestick's gonna get a flash in there. Shrimp's like, hey, I can play all these champions. What do you think, Coach? Coach is like, pick the Zac, son.
Yeah, I think, didn't Fiddlestick?
Oh, I'll pick this gun. That'll do.
Okay, yeah, so this is also fine.
Fiddlesticks did get buffed. You are
Yeah, I was going to say Fiddlesticks. I'm trying to remember what the buffs were, but please no, just don't play that champ for me. So they're building a pretty beefy front line. This is one of the things that can work very well with Swain. You know, you have a whole team that wants to engage. They grab the Alistair now as well. Tom Kench insta-lock, making sure they can protect members from what I was just talking about.
Adrian already played it yesterday. Certainly a champion he's done a lot of work on, and should be able to protect his carries here in this one. Lost on the Caitlyn. Does need some kind of added protection to be oppressive in that lane and also in the late game team fights.
Right, and Tom Kench is a champion that can work pretty well if you're a new player on a team. It's less about coordinating with your team, like I'm engaging, everyone follow up, and more like they're engaging, I know what I need to do to save them. So maybe a little less synergy needed to execute on the Tom Kench.
Yep, there's Varus, Kog'Maw, and Camille all banned away. Fox taking 2 marksmen off the table with Caitlyn already selected. That's going to push Airy pretty far down with the Xayah also banned.
We'll have to see what he goes to. We've seen some Ashe propping up down here, things like that. Potentially a decent matchup in the Caitlyn. You have the range, but could be tough with Alistar not providing a lot.
Yeah, I think classically that was a matchup that Ashe players tend to favor, but has been a while most certainly. So Fly, we'll see what they ban. It is Orianna away from Demonte.
Yep, and so the first time we saw Swain, it was in the mid lane, and it was against Ryze. Ryze is banned out now, though, with the Cassio and the Orianna, so that's a lot of attention played to the mid lane here for Echo Fox. And with how limited your scrims might have been against Swain, you might have found one or two things you don't mind playing against it. But with this many bans, Echo Fox gonna go with the Anivia.
I mean, a pick we've seen a little bit of. You kind of think of, you know, how good tier is since 8.4 and all those changes. Anivia is a champion that I think eventually popped up, but it's not nearly as strong as kind of the other options at the top of the tier.
I mean, the items clearly are great on the champion, and that's why some people have tried it, but it doesn't feel like it's quite up in that A-tier category. We saw it once in Academy. I think we saw it once in LCS as well.
Yep.
Pobelter playing it.
Did.
Every time we see it, it kind of gets destroyed, so I'm not very confident in the pick, especially not into Swain, who could potentially abuse its lack of mobility.
Well, Jinx and maybe even On. Yep, going to round things out for FlyQuest, so no on the tank. He's been a consummate tank player, all split long, and Jinx has popped up every now and then, but super hyper carry who has gotten some buffs also in recent patches. So a bit different, but again, with so many ADs taken out, FlyQuest just saying we want to reinforce some of our team fight there from bot lane.
Yep, and it'll be a concern to make sure that Jinx actually gets to late game against a Caitlyn. That's going to be tough. Ornn is interesting to me. You have things like Sion and Cho'Gath available, which seem to have overtaken it in the meta. That's why you see Sion in the top lane for Alarim here, but Ornn does have a little bit longer range engage, and maybe they're trying to do some kind of synergy where the Swain can follow up on that very easily, where you can get the knock up from the long range engage and then get the pullback with the Swain passive. So I'll be interested to see exactly why they went for the Ornn there over the Sion or Cho.
Yep, we also saw Shen was hovered for a bit, so that was also an option that was available to these teams. Curious, certainly, but have to see how it all shakes out. Could just also be a comfort thing for Noah as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Noah on a lot of tanks this split. Does feel like he plays pretty much all of them. Maokai's, Sions, Cho's, whatever he wanted. Ornn, for whatever reason, felt like this was the pick for this game. Going to have a lot of setup, a lot of engage available for everybody. You have the Skarner running around to find pickoffs as well. Echo Fox do have that kind of advantage in the bot lane. Feels like FlyQuest have theirs in the mid lane. We'll have to see how these teams try to play around those.
Certainly a fun one, but both Keen and Demonte have been good mid laners so far this split. There's a reason these two teams are towards the top of the standings and why Echo Fox are fighting for that playoff spot. If they win here, they will get it. No matter what happens, we'll be playing a bonus game, perhaps even two if you're very lucky, Mark.
I love bonus games.
Right.
I have nothing else to do tonight, nothing.
For now, we'll focus in on this one because, like we said, games really matter here towards the tail end of the evening.
Yeah, and you got to be excited for games that have this much on the line. You get to see the pressure build for these players, especially if you get into some late game situations going even. A lot of these guys are young. This is Academy. These people are trying to prove themselves more so than even the LCS, you could say, in some ways. So while there's potentially less on the line from a team perspective, there's more on the line as an individual. Airy, Lost, all these guys trying to prove themselves. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the AD carries this game.
Yeah, and again, stage time is also something valuable, and you'll get that if you make it through to playoffs. Fly already there. Fox looking for it is Lost, and Adrian looking for a pretty early invade. JJ going to get himself poked a little, and a ward on the red buff should give them some information. Uh-oh, Lost though, trying to get the 15 gold from the Spire, does actually get it. Shrimp going to get some slight harass there as well. Might even stick around here for Echo Fox. 3-man invade still on the table.
Yep. And for FlyQuest, no matter what, they're going to be in that second, third spot, but still want to have side selection for playoffs.
Interesting little trade-off here. Odd Orange really wants to get in there, but a good headbutt actually from JJ might not give it over, but actually getting a little too low. The red buff, I believe, went over.
Yeah,
to Odd Orange. Oh, Shrimp got it. That's bad news here. The Skarner maybe looking to slow them down, but does enough damage to deter the Skarner from getting aggressive. So Invade kind of fell flat on its face there, Mark.
Yeah, big problem as well, considering how much faster Skarner clears his jungle anyways. He'll be able to kind of transfer that love by Echo Fox much better than Fox can recover from it, as well as the fact maybe the advantage is the fact that Fox's bot lane got some decent damage on the JJ and can pressure around with it, but bit of a disaster there.
Well, Odd Orange has at least got his blue buff and we'll kind of get things going here, but we'll be slow. We'll see if Shrimp can use that tempo advantage here as he flies through the jungle. Definitely want to be checking in on mid though. Demonte with the Spellbook and the Ignite as no trading back with Alarum. Looking pretty comfy on the Ornn so far.
Yep, going Grasp instead of onto Spellbook. Trading onto Adrian there. Keen going with the Phase Rush. We were talking about all those different ways you can build Swain right now. Feels like Phase Rush is potentially starting to emerge as the preferred summoner choice.
I was going to say Keen has always been one of those players that tends to play a lot of different champions, do a lot of exploring and thinking about the game, so maybe that's what you're looking for here. As Red Buff Invade looking very successful here. Shrimp, ever the aggressive jungler, should be able to take this down, and that's going to mean a completed 3 buff.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised the Odd Orange even coming up to contest this side of the map. I mean, Shrimp is low, so we should be able to get these Raptors and stop Shrimp from completely taking his top side of the jungle. So probably worth it to go up there. He had to go back early on. Odd Orange did to pick up some items in his health pool after he got chunked out. But now seems to mostly have stabilized. Hit level 3. He's doing all right.
Yeah, good damage there, though, from the Q by Alorum. There's no... takes a trade he didn't really want, and we can see Damonte doing okay there in the mid lane. Kind of curious to see how that matchup continues to play. I think the base level thing that people might have been thinking is that Swain's wave clear wasn't great, so Olivia's being pretty excellent. Might be able to get a pressure advantage that way once she hits level 6, but we'll see.
Yeah, Swain's wave clear is a little bit weird. Like, you can use the W and E on the wave if you want, but that loses a lot of pressure in the lane, so it results in a lot of Q spam, which with the buffs that came in, increasing the, decreasing the cooldown, makes his wave clear not too bad, especially if you're executing minions with it. That's where it has the mana refund, 3% I think of your max mana for every minion you kill with your Q. So, you know, if you play Swain well, he actually has a fair amount of tools to do all right in pushing matchups, but Anivia does have a bit of a range advantage on him if you don't land the E, so we'll have to see how that actually plays out. Yeah,
we saw an E land earlier from Keen. Able to win a trade pretty handily, which makes a lot of sense. Damonte right now farming under the turret as we check in with his bot side. Certainly expecting Caitlyn Tom-Kench to be the aggressor, and so far so good. Alistar can struggle against some of these more, I don't know, I was going to say combat ready, but it's not really how Tom-Kench works, but you can certainly abuse Alistar with the likes of Tom-Kench and Braum just by abusing your power you have in those melee matchups.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the gank mid.
Juicy stun there. Keen forced a flash. Odd Orange going to follow. Does not get the knockup, but the Permafrost is not quite going to land. Needs a little bit more flashes in for it, and there it is. First blood for Damonte.
Nice play there. Keen flashing really early on. Allowed Odd Orange to get on top of him. Shrimp, meanwhile, is soloing away this dragon. Will probably be able to get it, but that first blood in the mid lane is pretty big.
This is one of the reasons Skarner has been highly prized as a champion ever since those buffs. He smashes the Drake. Ooh, a little too far forward, forcing the flash. Odd Orange late to the Drake, but at least he gets something from it.
Yeah, he heard the Drake get taken, so while he might have just been making his way down through the river after that kill regardless, finds the kill. Here you see Keen getting chunked out. The flash was a little bit early. Damonte had already used his full combo, and so Odd Orange was then able to follow him very effectively with the charge. If you might want to hold your flash a little bit longer there, but either way, King was so far up the lane, and that gank was well coordinated enough that they're probably finding that kill no matter what.
Yep. We're checking with some early items, and Anivia building that tier into the Catalyst. Very much standard. Keen also looking like a Rod of Ages first tier with that Catalyst, but we'll have to see as Keen actually looking for a gank here. There's the on ulti, but Sion with a get out of jail free card zooms down the river.
That was an interesting play. Echo Fox, Keen TP's behind the Sion, who can just easily ult away. It's exactly what he does. He lost his mid-wave for it. I think he got down and caught a little bit of it, but a bit of a lackluster exchange there.
He tried. He got an ulti. We'll see if he tries it again anytime soon. A Shrimp taking down the red buff. There's a control ward right on top of it, so clearly very protective of his buffs. At level 6 with red. Shrimp raring to go with Predator also available.
Right, but there's some pink wards in his jungle he's scuttling right past, so Echo Fox will be very aware of where he is, can play around that cooldown. You can feel that, you know, they get an assist me ping on top of this blue buff, but both teams should be aware of this, so you're going to see a big fight over this.
JJ moving first. Shrimp is on top of it. Like you said, Echo Fox have the information to respond. Shrimp going to stick around for this, but Adrian lost here. Vision of Empire will spot another combo in onto Adrian, but he flashes out from under the Chompers. Move up over, but now the TPs are coming in. Damonte with a great 3-man stun. Going to try and wall them all up as well. Odd Orange straight into the back lines. That's a route in onto Keen, who dies to loss. Now Shrimp, Lobert, Eri going to be the next target. A stun lands in onto JJ. There's a double kill for the Caitlyn. Make it 3. No, Damonte cleans up the next one. And that was not worth it on the blue buff. In fact, Odd Orange maybe finds another in onto Shrimp, finds the knock-up, gets him airborne. The stun from Shrimp's going to land, pulls him in towards the turret. He's going to try and find the shots. Permafrost does get him the kill, but Odd Orange will go down as a trade.
Does trade, but the bot lane's still very healthy. So Echo Fox, depending on how greedy they want to be here, can continue pushing. Actually just going to recall. And that was just a very risky invade by FlyQuest. They have been spotted out the entire time. You know that they're ready to pick the fight. And you are down teleport in the top lane. No was not going to be able to join in on that fight. He had used it for lane. And just like you said, Demonte here has such perfect positioning on how to play this fight out. Drops his ultimate down, so everyone's going to have to kite through it. Also lands a huge triple stun, keeping people in there. Comboed up very well by Odd Orange to make sure that they get a bunch of people. And then there's Alarin flashing over the wall, providing some extra CC to make sure that they can find these next 2 kills onto Ari and JJ. Shrimp ends up wrapping around and getting caught out by Odd Orange. Nice trade 1-for-1 by Shrimp to stay alive here, but making the best of a bad situation. Ends up being a 4-for-1. Obviously, not ideal. They didn't lose any turrets off it, which is good, but you still see a 1,000 gold advantage now for Echo Fox.
Yeah, carries the big benefactors on the Echo Fox side as well, which is probably making that bad news even worse. You can see 2 AD items there for lost, a BF sword and a pickaxe versus just the BF and some daggers. And that Rod of Ages is not far off completion for Demonte. He went back for that blasting one and to finish that catalyst. So we've talked about Caitlyn being such an oppressive pick in the lane, but needing some help towards that mid game. Huge amount of early gold given over to the Caitlyn, so Lost should be able to continue his trend of bullying this lane alongside Adrian.
Same with the Anivia, you know, all things considered. She's a champion that is pretty gold hungry and needs some time to get online, but she has been catapulted ahead with those 2 kills and 1 assist. Going to be able to finish that Rod of Ages relatively quickly, and then hopefully can get done with the Seraphs as well. And then you have a very strong bird in the mid lane versus the former bird, now demon
Demon bird. Guess we know which bird is better, as Alorum is hanging out with the creep wave. It's a gank incoming. No is here, and there's someone in the bush. Surprise! It's Shrimp! Oh, nice cancel there by No on the ulti. There's a suppress back as the sting lands from Shrimp. Alorum trying to get out of the way, but no friends forthcoming. Good double knock-up, but he's got no flash. He's running towards the enemy turret. That turns out to be the wrong way. It does go down to Shrimp.
Yep, Alarin just intelligently kind of prioritizing the minion wave in that gank. Once he realized he was going to die, shouts the cannon creep back, I believe, to get the kill on that one. And some other focus.
Odd Orange combo stun after the ultimate. Keen in stasis, but everyone's popping out. Goodbye. Demonte going to get the kill. Echo Fox going to get the turret as well. Massive play in the mid lane despite the good gank by Shrimp in top.
And this is one of the problems that happens with Keen. He's usually very stable, but when things go bad, they go bad fast for Keen. He ends up with a ton of deaths. Here already 0-3-0, gets ganked. Hard to blame him for that one, but it's about how much worse things are going to get now that the mid lane has been broken open and there's not much working for FlyQuest. Yeah, they got a kill on the top side, but I mean, this is just brutal. We were talking about the Anivia being immobile. Swain's the exact same way, and there hasn't been much support. Shrimp has been doing other things around the Swain, but not with the Swain, so he's been getting picked on a ton.
Yep, Rod of Aid is also now done for Demonte as a result. And stopwatch broken for Keen, so even the one thing he had to maybe protect him, not going to help out here. As well, still chunking down these waves, gets them all. But now going to back up maybe an item to finish. Could have that Infinity Edge done, although maybe he'll go the Static Shiv route second and arm up Azeel. But no, it is Infinity Edge, so prioritizing a little bit more of that fighting power.
Yep, and the timing is a little bit weird, just as Dragon spawns, but obviously you want that IE, and FlyQuest is behind, not really in a position to force it, so doesn't mean they're not going to try. Everyone resets for Fox, and FlyQuest look to force this Mountain Dragon.
Yeah, just kind of, again, using the power of that Skarner to take down the Drake quickly before there's a real reaction from Echo Fox. No vision here is going to make it tougher.
No teleport for Alarin quite yet. He's not going to be able to get down here unless he ults, which is on cooldown still.
Trump is tanked by Adrian. They know it's up now, but Shrimp might be able to take it and get out of here. And not enough vision. Oh, there's actually no coming down. Skarner does take the Drake. Odd Orange going to phase check a little too much, but he is going to knock him up. The suppress also there from the Skarner. Lauren finally lands in there, but he doesn't get a stun into any priority target. No, soaking up a lot of damage. Now Adrian may be caught a little too far forward.
Works out all right for FlyQuest, able to grab the dragon. They find a kill on Odd Orange, and they all get out with their lives. that looked like it was going to be much worse when Alarim came in from the side, but there was no strong front line established for the Anivia and Caitlyn to walk forward. Adrian was behind them in the river. Lost was a little bit up and to the right. Anivia was straight up, so there was not quite a great way for them to get into the follow-up of Alarim. So here, Odd Orange ends up walking a little bit too far forward. That Skarner targets him as the one they want to focus down. They kill him right away, but Fox, you see both carries want to walk forward here, but they're getting zoned away and split. No one's really being able to walk forward and chase this down for them, and Alarim doesn't quite have a ton of CC, not actually able to land a knock-up on anyone.
Yeah. Nice play there from FlyQuest Academy. Get themselves the second Drake of this game and even come out the other end with a kill. Still not quite 2,000 gold up for Echo Fox as they are in the lead, but going to need more. FlyQuest do battle back and grab some gold for themselves here. I think it'd be nice to see the Caitlyn moving around a little bit more. I think they wanted to get the IE and maybe win that last team fight and go from there, but instead, probably time to move around and siege some of these turrets and try and snowball that advantage that you should have.
Yeah, that whole Dragon contest was maybe a little ambitious on Echo Fox's side. If they wanted the Dragon, don't do that big group recall and just kind of force as you're already stronger. The recall is nice because you get your items, but then you're taking this fight on not on your terms. And so, like you said, FlyQuest obviously targeting this objective game. Something they do a ton of in Academy. It's one of the reasons that they're so good is they play a less volatile game than a lot of the other top teams where you see C9 and TLA picking crazy things and making them work. Echo Fox goes for very standard picks, standard draft, and standard play, but they execute on it at a level that is unmatched in Academy.
Well, Rift Herald over them as well, so continuing that objective focus. There are banners of command dueling in the top lane, as you can see. But Jinx is a pretty good answer to that minion.
Yep, they're a little bit behind on the push. Echo Fox will take the turret first, but like you said, the Rift Herald will probably sway this as well as the fact that Jinx is a better pusher than a lot of other top laners.
Yep, that is going to be enough. 3 people there. Alarum just gets away from the turret. Now it's to prevent more, but Echo Fox saying, we kind of fancy this race. Adrian going to...
I don't know if you do.
Well, they're going to try at least. Good ult there from No just to take down the minion wave. He's going to stop that push. Devontae roams up. That's a nice answer to the Rift Herald. So that combo works out. They actually get 2. Oh no! The pullback in onto the loss, but the eat there from Adrian's enough to save it. And they do get 2 turrets. No second turret there for FlyQuest.
Yeah, it works out in Echo Fox's favor despite a lot of the advantages they had. Nivea, you talked about a little bit at the start, her amazing wave clear coming up big there, able to wall people off while they focus down Shelly. Protect that top turret. And the goal lead continues to grow for Echo Fox up to 3K now.
Yeah, looking better and better as the game ticks on, but still certainly within distance here for FlyQuest. Berserker Greaves and a dagger now for Lost. I thought he might have had the Zeal upgrade, but he's not quite there yet. Eri on the other side here on your screen. BF Sword plus the Rune of Hurricane, so he'll be farming very quickly as he attacks these side waves in particular.
Yep, and this is a game where late, it's probably pretty equal. I think Jinx is obviously the better hyper carry in terms of straight DPS than Kate, but Kate has the extra safety that comes with the champion being able to net away, as well as massive headshot crits if people are out of position. So you can kind of chip people down a little bit better, whereas Jinx is great for melting targets. And then the mid laners, who really knows? We haven't seen Swain late yet. He has an insanely low cooldown if he's able to just keep queuing people with that shotgun kind of electrical bolts, but if you're not in a position to spam those, then you actually don't do that much.
No. Whereas Anivia, we know, also pretty potent in a long enough fight.
Oh, yeah.
2 items also for Demonte. Keeping ahead of Keen. Pretty nicely on the bird. Looks like FlyQuest trying to get things going here. I think more than anything, just stopping the outer turret push here for Echo Fox. They do have 3 turrets, but 2 of them are in the bot lane, so still an outer to attack here in top. Alarum got a lot of space to kind of play back and into No.
Echo Fox trying to execute on their strategy. This Caitlyn that's now very strong, move her around the map and mow down turrets. FlyQuest trying to hang on, hopefully for some mid-game team fighting over objectives, which they seem to be doing better on. And you gotta think CLG Academy is watching this game.
Yep.
A little nervous right now with Echo Fox in the lead.
Can't say we didn't set up some sort of like in-house camera, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of investment from that side in this particular game. This is quite possibly, though, the most thrilling matchup we've had all night. Sion versus On plus 2 banner cannons.
You are being sarcastic.
I am. They'll be hanging out for a while. Shrimp looking for the flash play. Demonte out of there.
Very dangerous there. There was actually the Vision of the Empire, whatever W, that just barely missed getting the slow on Demonte, which would have potentially set him up for the pull by Auto Orange. Now they're actually rotating up to the top side from that.
Oh, looking for it now. The Chompers landing in. A good double pull there from JJ, trying to stun the Anivia. Jinx laying in the damage. People need to get up, but Demonte already burnt his splash. Adrian with the Devour finds it. Auto Orange escapes as well. Wow. Keen TP for that, and they got nothing.
I thought that was the no TP coming in. It was actually the Keen. You see Alarm struggling a little bit in the 1v1.
I can't explain why. I don't understand on versus Silent, intricately enough.
I would reckon it is the W cooldowns. Both of them are the percent max health. Let's hold on. We got something more important to talk about.
Oh, Permafrost lands, finds Shrimp. This could be a good conversion. He's going to go down here. No big objective to get right now, except maybe the Ocean Drake. Unfortunately, Baron not up for a minute, but good pick there into the jungle with Adrian again, using that Abyssal Voyage nicely.
Yep, pretty free kill overall. Did lose the Ignite, did lose a Flash, but worth the kill. The top matchup, like I was saying, I would reckon it's just the Bellows Breath or whatever it's called being a lower cooldown. That's where you get some of your percent max health damage. And with your Brittle being applied on that, whereas Sion in the tank versus tank matchup, his W will be doing the most work as well, but a little bit longer cooldown, as well as the fact that you can break that shield potentially, which will stop him from being able to trade the damage back. So it feels like it's slightly in Orange's favor.
Well, certainly no is demonstrating that in recent trades we have seen, but Ocean Drake finally in the hands of Echo Fox Academy. They do take down their first Drake, the 3rd overall in this game. But no more mountains, no infernals at all just yet, so still some stuff to play for, and we'll get a lot of Drakes in this game given how fast Shrimp took the first one for FlyQuest. Cloud up next as Demonte grabs the blue buff.
Yeah, no one has been letting them live for very long. A lot of dragons going down. And the gold lead continues to grow, though, up to 4K about now for Echo Fox. So, you know, despite not being able to grab another turret, the fact that they find these kills, the fact that they live through FlyQuest's attempt, where, you know, it's not like FlyQuest is just laying here doing nothing. They had that one in the mid lane. They have the TP up on the top side, but Echo Fox just keeps barely getting out alive, which is limiting where they're able to find gold, whereas, like we just said, some pickoffs happening on Shrimp.
Okay, well, we'll check kind of in where we are at the mid-game here. AD carries should have 2 items done. Area, I think, just has to go shop, but Lost does have Static Shiv now completed. Fox playing pretty strong on this left-hand side of the map, trying to, again, shove down that turret, but even pressuring the Baron at this point is certainly a possibility as these two continue to hang out and try and do damage. Those poor cannon minions. Oh, Alarm says no. Baps one away, but he'll be back.
He'll be back. But probably not before we focus a lot more on this top lane. Red buff on Lost, gonna start pushing down this turret. Lots of control around the Baron as well, so FlyQuest don't feel safe. Back off. Auto Orange just shows up through lane. They bully this turret down. And now with all 3 turrets, it's going to be a lot easier to control around this Baron buff. It's still a little early. It doesn't feel like Echo Fox's damage is quite there. Caitlyn probably wants her second Zeal item before really threatening this Baron. But Anivia, pretty high damage champion for Baron.
Pretty good stuff. Blue buff over to Demonte. Successful donation.
That is surprising, given how much damage was going in there, that Demonte walks away with it. But an Anivia E on a slowed, iced up target actually does a ton of damage, so might be doing more than Smite already.
Maybe. Demonte is actually really strong. Level 14 with 2 items.
It's a big bird.
1 on the way. Actually 15, just ticked over as I was saying my last number. Control word for Echo Fox is at least presenting the threat of the Baron. FlyQuest Academy going to have to be a little careful because, again, given the kind of texture of this top lane matchup, given the strength of both these carries, Baron really does feel like it could break open again. We actually haven't seen Banner, I don't think, at all today in these games, but these 2 top laners rushed it, so...
Yeah,
certainly, I mean, it's obviously weaker, but there is always the idea that, okay, we get this, the game could just break open completely.
Right, it's the kind of thing where Banner got nerfed. We already seen people deprioritize it a little bit on 8.4, so you haven't seen it very much, but both these champs are fine to rush it right away, and then they can kind of keep dropping it in lane and hope the enemy team struggles to clear it out. Turns out that doesn't actually happen when both them do it, so it just leads to a stalemate.
This, if you have been watching the, I guess, bot lane right now, but the top lane matchup.
Yeah.
What do you kill first? You can kill the banner minion, because enemy champion's probably less threatening as I'll trade back and forth.
Well, you can actually kill the banner minion.
That's
you
true.
Kill the enemy champion.
That's true. As our Void Staff actually done for Demonte, again, continuing to grow in strength here on Anivia. Significant CS lead, 45 currently over Keen. And level 3 ulti won't be too far away, and blue buff makes her a very happy bird.
Yep, going to be able to keep pushing in these minion waves, and like we said, second Zeal completed, but hasn't gone to the full upgraded Zeal item, which is the rapid fire cannon. Oh my god.
Great damage there from the Anivia.
That might be enough to go potentially start looking at Baron. Lost is dealing with a minion wave right now.
Oh, great ult. Needs a little more. No flash over the wall, though. And now JJ actually going to tie one up, but JJ going to get caught out, forced to flash away, but the Permafrost stun will land in. Ultimate was ticking, though, from the Asta. No, it wasn't actually. No wonder why it took so much damage.
Yeah, he chose not to ult. Probably smart, all things considered, but with that pressure, you think Echo Fox can potentially look to this Baron. You see a lot of pings going down, some vision control. They're not rushing it that quickly, though, and so Skarner has got his reset off.
Ooh, Challenger Crab dodges that Jinx W.
Oh, yeah.
Did go over to Echo Fox. Pretty critical in retaining the threat on this area, but nice little ward that Lost and Adrian just walked over. He's going to spot out a potential attempt. So I think for now, FlyQuest Academy feeling safe enough with what vision they do have, and Echo Fox looks like acknowledging this, actually just going to reset and maybe look for it again.
Still, Demonte doing a good job to potentially find his team of Baron buff there. Lots of damage, shades of Froggen. Two had spent some time as teammates before, as Demonte has been playing on the Academy/Challenger roster for a little while. And very Froggen-esque to find people slightly out of position and catch them out with walls and force them into your queues.
Certainly seems like a practice pick for Demonte. I have been impressed with his individual play on a lot of different champions. He was kind of the first guy to really bust out Zoe and dominate with it when she was extremely strong around her release. So certainly impressed with kind of the depth of him as a player. I think someone to certainly look at. Has had a couple games in LCS here and there on the Echo Fox team you mentioned last year, I believe, but maybe making more of a name for himself here in Academy. Certainly looking good on the bird as Echo Fox. Remember, trying to push forward into playoffs. FlyQuest don't need to worry about that. They're already clinched. They just need to figure out where exactly they stand.
Yep. Like we said, somewhere in the second or third seed. If they win, it forces a three-way tie that TLA ends up first with because of head-to-head matchups and those kinds of things, and then they're battling C9 for it. If they lose, there is no tiebreaker between those two teams. And instead, it is a tiebreaker between TLA and C9 Academy.
Just burning down these waves. Ulti ticking forever. With Saris and Rod of Ages fully stacked up. Trying to figure out what that blasting one is turning into. Oh, never mind. Shrimp getting picked off. The ult actually did land on the other side, but Odd Orange CC'd up, forcing a TP out. But here comes Alorum. Not going to grab a knockup, but again, just cutting some off nose here with a good ult. JJ goes back in to try and start it off, but it's only Odd Orange gets CC'd up. No, not going to get caught out. Forced to flash away, and JJ also caught with no ulti and no flash. Finally, a pick comes for Fox.
Yeah, they find one kill onto JJ, and they chunk out a lot of other members of FlyQuest, so they're going to be able to turn right back onto this Baron. Lost wasn't even there for a lot of that. That was mostly Demonte and Odd Orange comboing together. Both ice champions finding multiple targets on FlyQuest.
Yeah, Blue Trinket's going to spot up that Baron. Adrian off to the side trying to zone away, but the Baron's already dead. More than enough damage actually for Echo Fox, and they claim the Baron clean off that pick.
Talking about how much Caitlyn can do once she gets her second Zeal item completed, has that rapid fire cannon now with that static ship, as well as Anivia's damage, means a very easy Baron.
Whoa, straight into the heart of the enemy. Adrian and Alorum riding in, but that may be a little too much for Adrian. Oh, he pops a stopwatch. It's the modern day Messiah, flashes out of the way, stun lands through, damage everywhere. Demonte able to take down Arian. Echo Fox, a stroke of genius from Adrian. Gonna slaughter FlyQuest in this team fight.
We talk about him playing down from the LCS. How hard can you carry at support? Sets his team up with a number of kills there after kind of sticking his neck out. 3 for 0, able to flash away and barely stay alive. Baron buff was just acquired, so with those kills, they're gonna be able to charge right up mid lane, potentially grab an inhibitor.
Baron was all a ruse, Mark. It was all about that abyssal voyage in to open up this game. 3 dead, including the Jinx. does mean that this inhibitor turret is not long for this world, and the inhibitor will likely follow after it. They've also got a Baroned up cannon minion, so maybe even more, perhaps some poke onto the Nexus turrets, but not so lucky today.
Yeah, a little surprised they chose to use the Banner of Command there on that minion. They already kind of had that mid lane inhibitor secured. Hold that for your next push, but either way, minor optimization off the back of this play to get them that Baron buff. Shrimp gets chunked out. Everyone's in full retreat mode. Airy has to flash away. JJ's kind of caught out of position. He has to go back in, loses his ultimate, and now he has to run so far while constantly getting slowed by multiple members. He'll eventually be the only one to go down at first off of this, and that's when they look back on the Baron. And then after the Baron buff, FlyQuest is trying to get minion waves in their favor, and Adrian looks like he goes over aggressive right into the 4 members of FlyQuest, but he's able to flash out after this stopwatch keeps him alive to the top side where Damonte is going to keep him healthy with Odd Orange. Keen's zoned out now, caught out by Lost. Doesn't have the damage to actually compete with the AD carry, and that's when you know your Swain is a little bit behind.
Certainly is. Keen has not had those standout of games for him, and Damonte continues to impress, sniping so many people with stuns. They're in that team fight. Adrian may have had the big play to start things off, but Damonte able to really pick people up and finish things as he now has Aleandries to go along with that 5-0 and 3 scoreline. I should have known that's what he was building into.
Yep, pretty great item on Anivia, some extra HP because she's relatively low range, extra burn for the multiple tanks on FlyQuest, plus the fact that she has a very easy time stacking up its passive.
Yep, in fact, I was waiting for the big E to come out.
Oh yeah.
Super extra mega crit off the madness stacking up, but instead JJ is forced to flash and burn ultimate just to stay alive as Echo Fox only 30 seconds with this Baron, so probably not getting too much more. Shrimp smites a minion away to kind of keep things closer, but they'll try it at least, looking for this turret if they can grab it. Ulti there from Orn's gonna knock a few back. Not bad, but the front line staying strong there for Echo Fox. Lorem's just in the thick of it, tanking it up, and JJ just dies with no ulti. No, they're gonna get rooted up. Lost almost able to snipe him down as Keen is trying to find a nice ulti. Pops the Zhonya is not bad as he gets the Demon Flare out, but again, there's just not enough here for FlyQuest. No, trapped in again amongst the Anivia. Damonte slaying people left and right as he takes down Keen. Eri does get Alorem, but they're trying to rally back through, but Damonte again gets killed into Shrimp. Alorem does go down on the side, but the carries are left, or at least one of them is. Lost did die, but Damonte and Odd Orange probably enough as a big trade in team fight, 3 for 3.
Yeah, 3 for 3. FlyQuest played that one pretty well. Fox not really respecting some of the power that was available. Keen went in, was able to get the pullback onto Damonte, and it forced Adrian to save the egg and spit that one out behind the fight. So he did not have the save available for Lost when he went too far in. He walks into Keen, who's in Zhonya's form, and drops his Demon Flare right then, which chunks out Lost really hard. And then I think Eri hit him with the Super Mega Death Rocket to finalize the kill. Very scrappy fight that felt like Echo Fox just got a little over eager. Both carries alternating when they went too far in.
Well, Lost does go down as a result. Has a blemish on the record. The carries were immortal before, but one death.
So watch Damonte here. He wants to do what he's been doing this entire time, landing those big Qs off on people, but he gets rooted and pulled into the turret, so he has to flash out very quickly. It's dropped very low, wants to walk back into the fight, but once again gets hit, rooted, pulled back in a second time. This time, Adrian picks him up, spits him out. Now Lost is the one who's going to walk a little bit too far forward, right into Keen when that Demon Flare props. Got 700 damage on top of him, way too far forward, gets hit by some more damage, and now the fight is kind of over. Luckily, Damonte has come out of the egg form, and Shrimp, who's been struggling against Anivia all day, gets scrambled. Popped right there, and so 3 for 3. Inhibitor does drop. Second one of the match, so FlyQuest, despite putting up a good defense there, is still heavily on the back foot.
Fox did get the Cloud Drake, so everyone was off the respawn, but now trying to attack the final inhib here in bot side. Lost also finished Mortal Reminder. I think he had that in the last exchange, but if he didn't, he does now. Damonte even working on item number 5, but we may not get there, given how this game is going. Double wizards here in the bot lane, trying to take down this turret. That's probably enough damage actually, but no. Gonna try and get in there with the ultimate. Finds Alorem and Damonte for the knock up, but not quite enough. And just a face tank here should take it down, and will. Echo Fox pushing ever closer to that playoff spot here.
Yep, they're gonna have to pull people away to deal with the super creeps coming in the top lane. It's gonna be really hard for them to actually stay alive in this situation. You see them having to split their focus. Top lane, Nexus turret getting hit out. Bot lane inhibitor going to die soon as well.
Yep, just patience required here for Echo Fox more than anything else. Baron up in 40 seconds if they need to run back and kind of have a contingency plan. This inhib's also going to fall, so that 2 inhibs, I think, as mid may have respawned. Yeah, is back, I believe, yep. But still, 2 is good. Enough pressure for this Baron, and Echo Fox kind of know that at this point there aren't too many bad choices you can make in trying to end this game.
Nope, just don't overextend. Let your minions do the work.
And take down Shrimp. That's going to make Baron easy, but it maybe just makes the game win easier instead. Alorum charging up. Oh, he hit that turret rubble. You hate to see it happen, but JJ still caught the wall from Demonte. Nice to kind of separate him from the rest of his team. Lost will get credit for that kill. Keen is going to get popped by Demonte's Anivia. A nice Sonya is going to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but the smash is going to knock him down as Odd Orange, of all people, collects the secure on that kill. Last inhib is going to fall, and Echo Fox slow and steady walk towards their spot in playoffs.
A huge game by Echo Fox, crushes the CLG miracle run. They protect their playoff spot by taking down FlyQuest here, and they lock FlyQuest into 3rd place as well.
Nexus turrets falling down. FlyQuest will take 3rd. Fox 4th just behind them. It's just who they play we will have to determine. But Echo Fox, their last game of their regular season, will push them forward to play in the post. Nexus down. Echo Fox looking good.
Off the back of Demonte, putting in a huge performance. 8-0-6 on the Anivia was a huge power point early in the game, huge power point in the mid game. Felt like Shrimp just kept getting hit by stuff, not respecting the Anivia damage at all, keeps getting chunked out, and then that final fight also dies right at the start of it.
First pick Swain. There was, what, 3, 4, maybe even 5 mid laners kind of banned away in that draft, and still Demonte picks out Anivia that we don't see too often and crushes with it there in mid lane, and then the rest of the game as well.
Yeah, he had a great performance. The Caitlyn pick also was very strong in the bot lane. Top lane was a complete wet noodle fight, but that's what they opted into, taking that Scion pick, and they were able to execute on their game plan pretty well.
Yeah, Fox grabbed a lead and then kind of ran away with it. We'll see an early replay here, 7.5 minutes in. Fox just kind of finding their way through this fight. Again, Demonte with a massive stun.
Oh yeah, and great follow-up by the rest of the team as well. You saw Auto Orange throwing that Sedge ult in. Alorum had the TP advantage so that they knew they could contest this. He provides some extra CC to make sure the bot lane gets locked up and killed off. That's the 3 for 0 that they could have taken. Then Shrimp and Auto Orange get into a little bit of jungle on jungle action. Working out pretty well for Shrimp, pulling back on the turret, get the kill, just barely gets traded back. But at that point, it's a 4 for 1 early in the game for Caitlyn, who gets a couple kills, able to get really strong.
Yeah, and then Echo Fox, despite how objective-focused FlyQuest were able to be, it just felt like Fox knew what they needed to do to really solidify the game and just crack it open.
Yeah, you get to see why people respect FlyQuest Academy and their ability to find leads in games, and especially when they fall behind, they still have great objective play. But 27.5 minutes in the game, they finally kind of make that mistake. They lost a Baron buff after a skirmish didn't turn well for them, and then Echo Fox get really aggressive, porting in on top of them, and Adrian's just barely going to be able to stay alive.
Yeah, really nice play there from Adrian, echoing some of the legendary Zhonya's players we've seen throughout League's history, but again, you can kind of just see the carries working overtime once the initiation was found.
That's the thing is, it was a great play by Adrian to get things started, but his team followed up on it perfectly. Demonte was wrapping around the far way, so he had a place to flash out to, and then Keen was left one-on-one versus the Caitlyn, who, like we said, Keen was 0-3 pretty early on into this game.
Well, glad you mentioned him, because to hear more about that victory, I'd like to welcome Odd Orange to the broadcast via Skype. Odd Orange, welcome onto the Academy broadcast.
Thank you.
How you feeling after that win, making playoffs?
We're feeling great. It's been a long day. We weren't trying to have a tiebreaker match after this one, so glad we pulled off the victory.
Talking about that, were you guys potentially concerned at all against playing against CLG, who looked really hot, beat a lot of the other top teams, and then we're on a 6-0 run? Probably feels pretty good to just not have to worry about that at all, I assume.
I mean, yeah, it's good to not have to worry about it because they also had side choice if we did lose this game. And we lost to them, like, I think 2 weeks ago or last week. But I don't know. We would have been prepared, and we still would have made playoffs.
I mean, obviously a tough game for you guys, but certainly something that maybe we didn't expect was Adrian coming down from the LCS team and playing with you guys. What's kind of that experience like, having him there? And I mean, you guys could not have had that much time to kind of play some games together. So just kind of tell me about that experience.
I mean, this was sort of a decision that was made from the main team, and I'm sure this weekend you guys will see. And I mean, it's really good to have. He's like the only veteran we have on our team that's actually played LCS. So he brings a lot of leadership and he brings a lot of, what's the word? Really great communication that just helped us like find our stride in games. A lot cleaner games too.
Definitely looked like a great game for you guys. Talking about 8.5, the patch a little bit. You're on Sejuani. You're working with the Nivea of all things against the Swain. What was this game like playing against some of these new picks and everything?
I mean, Swain has been like the hot pick of this week from all the scrims and stuff. I think, well, the reason we picked Anivia into the Swain is because CLG inspired us to play Anivia. They beat us with it, and we after the Ori was banned, we went to the Anivia. I think the Swain's a really strong pick, and it's really good for flex mid and top. After a lot of mid bans, you can throw it mid.
And I guess I'll ask you, have some experience, of course, in Challenger, but you guys, I think, doing a lot better here. What's kind of this team like versus some of the other teams that you've been on, and being in such a big organization like Echo Fox?
I mean, me and Alarm came from Team Gates back in spring of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
The difference with, I mean, not to talk down Team Gates, but Echo Fox is really professional. They've given us a ton of coaching staff that helps us succeed. So it's really nice working here.
Nice. Glad to hear that. And then final question, I think, is there's going to be a tiebreaker match being played next between C9 and TLA.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, there is. Between C9 and I think C9 and TLA have to play for first place.
Yes, they do.
You guys will take on the winner of that
you guys
match.
are fine. Don't worry about
Yeah, you guys are fine. You don't have a
I know that.
Yeah,
I thought TL had the first place spot guaranteed.
It's a complicated system. There's a tiebreaker coming up.
Okay.
Either way, which team would you prefer to play in the first round of the playoffs? Is there one that you're hungrier for?
I mean, I think all of us want to beat C9. We feel C9's the strongest team. That being said, if TL wins and we have to play TL first round, I think we'd be happier with that because I think we'll go to the finals that way. But we want to end up beating C9 overall.
All right. Some confidence there. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations on the win today. Good luck in playoffs.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we're headed for a break, but when we come back, we're going to start our tiebreaker. Coming up next, Cloud9 Academy and Team Liquid face off for sole possession of first place. Juicy stun there. Keen forced to flash. Orange going to follow. Does not get the knock-up, but the permafrost is not quite going to land. Needs a little bit more. Flashes in for it, and there it is. First blood for Demonte. Demonte with a great three-man stun. Going to try and wall them all off as well. Orange straight to the back line. That's the route in onto Keen, who dies to loss. Now Shrimp, Lobert, Eri going to be the next target. A stun lands in onto JJ. There's a double kill for the Caitlyn. Make it 3. No, Demonte cleans up the next one. Whoa, straight into the heart of the enemy. Adrian and Lorem riding in. But that may be a little too much for Adrian. Oh, he pops a stopwatch. It's the modern day Messiah. Flashes out of the way. Stun lands through. Damage everywhere. Demonte able to take down Eri and Echo Fox. A stroke of genius from Adrian. Oh, he hit that turret rubble. You hate to see it happen, but JJ still caught the wall from Demonte. Nice to kind of separate him from the rest of his team. Lost will get credit for that kill. Keen is going to get popped by Demonte's Anivia. A nice zone. He's going to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but the smash is going to knock him down. As Odd Orange, of all people, collects the secure on that kill. Last inhib is going to fall, and Echo Fox, slow and steady, walk towards their spot in playoffs. Yeah, what up, you want to